There is a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. You can sit by yourself in a quiet room and feel completely at peace, and you can stand in a room full of people, yet feel as though no one truly sees you. Loneliness is not always the absence of others. Sometimes it is the absence of connection, the absence of meaning, the absence of a safe place inside your own mind. Many people fear being alone because silence forces them to meet themselves, without conversation, without distraction, without someone else telling them that they matter. But learning to be alone is not about rejecting the world. It is about building a life that does not collapse whenever everyone else is gone. Because when you become comfortable in your own company, being alone no longer feels like abandonment. It begins to feel like freedom. Welcome to the Unhurried Mind, a quiet place for timeless wisdom, thoughtful reflection, and a calmer way of seeing life. Here, we slow down, we step away from the noise, and we learn to live with greater clarity, dignity, and peace. Today, we are going to explore the art of being alone without feeling lonely. Not by closing your heart, not by pretending you do not need anyone, but by creating a deeper relationship with the one person who will remain with you through every season of your life: yourself. Being alone is a physical condition. Loneliness is an emotional experience. One describes how many people are around you. The other describes how connected you feel. This is why solitude can be peaceful, while loneliness can be painful. Solitude is chosen. It is the decision to step back, breathe, and listen to your own thoughts. Loneliness often feels imposed. It feels like being forgotten, rejected, unwanted, or left behind. But the same quiet room can produce either experience. The difference is often found in the relationship you have with yourself. If you constantly criticize yourself, silence may feel cruel. If you do not trust yourself, being alone may feel unsafe. If your worth depends on attention, an empty phone can feel like proof that you do not matter. But none of these feelings are permanent truths. They are patterns, and patterns can be changed. The goal is not to convince yourself that you never need people. Human beings need connection. The goal is to stop treating solitude as evidence that something with loving silence. It begins with becoming willing to stay, even when silence feels uncomfortable. Many people experience being alone as evidence that something is wrong. They see an empty weekend and believe they are unwanted. They eat alone and imagine everyone is judging them. They spend an evening without messages and interpret the silence as proof that they do not matter. But solitude is not a verdict on your worth. An empty room is not rejection. A quiet phone does not measure your value. There will be seasons when life becomes less crowded. Friendships change. Relationships end. People move away. Responsibilities shift. And suddenly only delay the moment when you must face yourself. Learning to enjoy solitude begins with learning to remain present when silence feels uncomfortable. Not fixing everything immediately. Not judging what comes up. Just noticing, this is what I am feeling. This is what I have been avoiding. This is what my mind is trying to tell me. When you stop running from your inner world, it slowly becomes less frightening. Some people experience loneliness because they spend their lives waiting to be chosen, waiting for someone to call, waiting for an invitation, waiting for another person to make the day meaningful, waiting for love to arrive before life can begin. But when your happiness is always waiting outside the door, you give other people control over your inner life. You begin to believe that a quiet weekend means you are unwanted, that an unanswered message means you are unimportant, that someone else's absence means you have been abandoned. But your life does not have to remain on hold. You are allowed to choose yourself. Take yourself somewhere beautiful. Prepare a meal with care. Walk through a place you have never visited. Read the book you keep postponing. Begin the project that no one else understands. Do not wait for another person to validate the experience. A meaningful moment does not become less meaningful because you experienced it alone. The sunset is still beautiful. The music still moves you. The coffee still warms your hands. Life is still happening, even when no one is watching. You spend more time with yourself than with anyone else. Yet many people know almost nothing about their own inner world. They know what others expect from them. They know what their family wants. They know what earns approval, but they do not know what brings them peace. They do not know what they believe when no one is influencing them. They do not know what kind of life feels honest. A relationship with yourself requires the same things as any healthy relationship: attention, patience, honesty, respect. You learn about yourself by asking better questions. What gives me energy? What quietly drains me? What am I pretending not to know? What do I enjoy when there is no audience? What kind of person do I want to become? Do not rush to answer. Some answers appear slowly. They reveal themselves through patterns, discomfort, and small moments of truth. The better you understand yourself, the less frightening your own company becomes. You stop feeling trapped with a stranger. You begin to feel at home. Peaceful solitude is rarely created by accident. It is built through small rituals, simple actions that tell your nervous system, you are safe here. Make tea in the evening. Open the window in the morning. Take a slow walk without checking your phone. Write for 10 minutes before bed. Sit somewhere quiet and watch the light change. Listen to an entire piece of music without doing anything else. These habits may seem ordinary, but they give shape to your time. They turn an empty evening into a private ceremony. Without structure, solitude can feel like waiting. Waiting for someone to arrive. Waiting for the day to end. Waiting for life to become interesting. Rituals change that. They give you something to return to. They remind you that your presence is enough to deserve care. You do not prepare a beautiful space only for guests. You do not save your best meal only for company. You are also someone worth welcoming. Being alone becomes painful when every difficult emotion feels like an emergency. Sadness arrives, and you immediately search for someone to remove it. Anxiety appears, and you reach for distraction. A memory returns, and you try to bury it again. But emotions are not always problems that must be solved. Sometimes they are experiences that need to be felt. You can sit beside sadness without becoming hopeless. You can notice anxiety without obeying every fearful thought. You can miss someone without returning to a relationship that harmed you. Emotional strength is not the ability to avoid pain. It is the ability to remain present without abandoning yourself. Try saying, "This feeling is here, but it will not stay forever. I do not need to understand everything tonight. I can be uncomfortable and still be safe." You do not have to make yourself feel better immediately. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is remain with yourself until the emotional storm becomes quieter. Learning to be alone does not mean disappearing from everyone. Solitude and isolation are not the same. Healthy solitude restores you. Isolation slowly disconnects you from life. Solitude is a door you can open and close. Isolation feels like a wall. You may enjoy your own company and still need friendship. You may value silence and still need honest conversation. You may be independent and still need support. There is no weakness in reaching out. The danger begins when the fear of rejection convinces you to stop trying, or when pride tells you that needing people makes you less strong. A healthy life contains both solitude and connection, time to listen inward, and time to meet the world again. You do not need many relationships, but you need a few places where you can be real, where you do not have to perform, where your silence is understood, where your presence is not treated as a burden. Choose connection carefully, but do not close your heart completely. Loneliness often becomes heavier when you compare your private life to someone else's public image. You see photographs of dinners, celebrations, trips, and relationships. Everyone appears surrounded. Everyone appears wanted. Everyone appears happy. And you look at your quiet room, then conclude that your life is empty. But you are comparing your full reality to a selected moment. You do not see the loneliness inside the relationship, the tension behind the photograph, the silence after the celebration, the people who feel unseen while sitting beside someone they love. Being surrounded is not the same as being connected, and being alone is not the same as being unloved. Do not measure the value of your life by how crowded it appears. Some of the most important seasons of growth look very quiet from the outside. No applause, no audience, no visible progress. Only a person slowly becoming stronger in ways the world cannot yet see. Solitude gives you something the modern world constantly takes away: undivided attention. When no one is demanding a response, your mind has room to wander, to imagine, to remember, to create. Many of your clearest ideas may arrive when you are alone, during a walk, in the shower, while writing late at night, while looking through a window with nowhere else to be. Solitude allows the noise of other people's opinions to settle. You begin to hear your own voice again. Use that space. Write, paint, build, study, cook, learn an instrument, create something that did not exist before. You do not need to be exceptionally talented. Creation is valuable because it gives your inner world somewhere to go. Instead of asking, "Who will fill this empty time?" ask, "What can grow here?" A phone can make solitude feel less empty, but it can also prevent solitude from becoming meaningful. The moment discomfort appears, you reach for the screen. The moment silence begins, you fill it with someone else's voice. Minutes become hours, and when you finally put the phone down, you feel more restless than before, because stimulation is not the same as connection, and consumption is not the same as rest. You do not have to remove technology from your life, but create small spaces where it cannot follow you. Eat one meal without a screen. Walk for 15 minutes without headphones. Leave the phone in another room while you read. Let your mind become bored. Boredom is not always an enemy. Sometimes it is the doorway to attention. At first, the quiet may feel uncomfortable. Then something changes. Your thoughts become slower. Your senses become sharper. And your own life becomes visible again. Not every feeling of loneliness should be ignored. Sometimes loneliness is a message. It may be telling you that you need deeper connection, that you have been hiding for too long, that the relationships around you do not feel safe or honest, that you are missing community, affection, or meaningful conversation. Wisdom means listening to that message without allowing it to define your worth. Reach out to someone you trust. Join a group built around a genuine interest. Volunteer. Reconnect with a person whose presence feels healthy. Speak honestly instead of waiting for others to guess what you need. And if loneliness becomes constant, if it begins affecting your sleep, appetite, motivation, or desire to participate in life, seeking professional support is not failure. Sometimes, strength means allowing someone to walk beside you. The art of being alone is not the art of suffering silently. It is the art of knowing when solitude is nourishing and when your heart is asking for connection. You do not need to become comfortable with solitude all at once. Begin with small periods of intentional aloneness. 10 quiet minutes in the morning, a short walk in the afternoon, one evening each week without unnecessary plans. Do something simple and notice the urge to escape. Do not judge it. Just stay a little longer. Over time, your mind learns that being alone is not a threat. You begin to discover preferences you had forgotten. You hear thoughts that were buried beneath noise. You notice that peace does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes, peace is simply the absence of pressure. No one to impress, nothing to prove, nowhere else you are required to be. The more often you return to yourself, the less likely you are to abandon yourself for the wrong company. The fear of loneliness can make people accept relationships that cost them their peace. They remain where they are ignored. They tolerate disrespect. They shrink themselves to avoid being left. They mistake attention for love and company for connection. But being alone is often less painful than being with someone who makes you feel invisible. Do not invite chaos into your life simply because silence feels unfamiliar. Do not return to people who wounded you simply because the evening feels empty. Do not trade your dignity for temporary companionship. The wrong company does not cure loneliness. It deepens it, because there is a unique kind of loneliness in being beside someone while feeling completely unknown. Choose people who allow you to remain yourself. And until those people arrive, do not treat your own presence as a punishment. One day, you may look back and realize that your quietest season was not empty. It was where you learned to listen, where you discovered what you truly needed, where you stopped chasing people who could not meet you with honesty, where you became strong enough to leave what was harming you, where you built a life that felt meaningful, even before anyone else entered it. Being alone does not mean you have failed at connection. It does not mean you are unwanted. It does not mean this season will last forever. Sometimes, solitude is simply the space between who you were and who you are becoming. So light the lamp, make the tea, open the book, take the walk, sit with the silence. Let your own life become a place you are no longer desperate to escape. Because when you learn to enjoy your own company, you stop asking others to rescue you from yourself. Thank you for spending these quiet moments with the Unhurried Mind. If this message helped you see solitude in a calmer and more meaningful way, consider subscribing to the channel. Here, we explore timeless wisdom for inner peace, emotional strength, self-respect, and a clearer life. You can also share this video with someone who may be learning how to be alone without believing they have been forgotten. Until we meet again, slow down, listen inward, choose meaningful connection, and remember, your own company can become one of the safest places you know. This is the Unhurried Mind, ancient wisdom for modern minds.